3, 2, 1.
Right before, literally with the countdown going down. So just so you know how this side of the screen works. By the way, welcome to our second show of 2022.
Is it though?
It is, yeah. I mean, it's our second show. It is January 4th, 2022. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
We are the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. Now, as the countdown is going down, I have to hit a little transition button. So once the countdown is over, it goes like that, and then I transition over to us. It said 1, and Carla Marie decided to grab the mouse. What were you going to change? The chat?
I just wanted to delete something. We don't have new lighting. I don't know why everyone's saying that. It's really dark. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm still playing around with some settings. How does it look to you guys wherever you have? Yeah, it's a little dark, right?
I feel like I'm the only one lit up, and I hate it a lot.
Here, hold on. Let me do that real quick. There, now I'm more lit up. I moved the light.
What happened? I don't understand.
Moved a lot of things yesterday.
The room looks dark.
Yes, the room is darker, and we're supposed to pop from the room. That's kind of the way.
Okay.
Whatever. We'll figure it out. There's actually going to be some changes to the studio between today and Thursday.
Oh yeah.
That I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because things have not gone as planned this year. So until they happen, we won't talk about it. And once they're there, you'll see it, and we'll address it then. So.
Gotta love it.
We'll figure it out. Carla Marie, how you feeling this morning?
Great.
Yeah?
I've decided that my new year, like legit, like all jokes aside, will start next Monday.
Why is that?
Because this has been the absolute worst start to the year of my entire life.
I mean, no one died.
Yeah, actually, my grandpa died. Well, like
you said this year, though.
I know, but I'm saying January 4th, 1996.
So I'd imagine that was a worse year to start.
Oh no, today's his birthday. He died in April.
Clearly,
Never mind,
clearly very important.
I'm dead. I was 8.
I know, I'm just messing with you. I actually don't know what, I think.
It's today's birthday.
I don't know when my grandparents' birthdays are, but that's because.
I do, except for him, apparently.
My oldest grandfather,
Yeah,
my
today's
grandfather
his
on
birthday.
my mom's side, was born allegedly in 1912 in Jerusalem. They didn't really like keep.
It's not in the Bible?
Proper documents there. He
Definitely
might be,
in the Bible.
unless he was Jesus.
I think he was.
Because I think he was actually, one of my grandparents was born in Jerusalem. The other was born in Bethlehem. They're basically the Bible. They're the Old Testament or New Testament.
So I legit am going to start 2022 next Monday.
Okay.
And this week is just, get things done. I legit, not that I'm not working this week because we do have meetings and stuff, but there's so much that what should have been done over Christmas break that I couldn't get done because A, I wasn't here, but and B, we got in later than planned. That one day really just screwed everything that I'm just organizing the house and I'll get to emails next week. We
actually had a conversation. Thank you to everyone, by the way, who got us to Hype Train Level 5. I know we're 60% of the way there. We got 2 minutes to go according to my little timer in our chat. If we can get to Hype Train Level 5, that would be fantastic. What do we have to drink if we do, Carla Marie?
Deep Eddies.
And actually, if we get there and we get to open this bottle today, there's a phenomenal story about Deep Eddies.
Yeah, I would say it's phenomenal.
No, it's important to us and important to our little family here. But we were having a discussion with a friend of ours who also works in media. We're working on some projects together, possibly. And he was asking, how the beginning of the year went. And I'm trying very hard because I actually really enjoyed the holidays. Even with all the craziness of the flights from New Jersey to Seattle over the weekend and all the cancellations and the baggage issues, I still enjoyed everything. What?
Apparently my mic sounds weird.
Your mic?
It sounds like we are in 2 different places. Could it be because my voice changed? Because ever since I got COVID, my voice changed.
I don't know about that, but I'll, hold on. All right, try now.
Oh, wow. I sound crisper to myself. Mm-hmm. What'd you do?
Added some processing to your voice. Oh, there we go.
Oh, you sound tinny.
Okay. What about now?
Are you guys just trolling us?
Anyway,
really just trying to F with us this year?
We have internet today. We're just going to keep going. So we did hit Hype Train Level 5. So as Carla Marie grabs the Deep Eddy and pours it real quick, and we'll tell the little full circle moment after we drink it. Yes, things around the holidays did not go as planned. Okay. That is you can't even debate that. We both got COVID. I got stuck in Florida. Carla Marie had to stay in Seattle a little longer than she anticipated. We didn't get to see our family and friends as much as we would have liked. And then on the way back, we got stuck and whatnot. But I still enjoyed so many great moments with my family and friends. So I don't want it to sound like I'm starting off the year negative, because I actually really loved the start to my year.
It's not necessarily bad. I guess that wasn't the right word. It's just chaotic is the word that I keep saying. And
unplanned.
I do not do well when things are chaotic, because I like to have control of things. Don't we all? But
can't. Control doesn't exist.
Sometimes I thrive in chaos. Right now, I just like any other time of year, maybe, but this time of year when you're supposed to have like your planner, which I don't have, and like
wash your hands.
Things like organized. No.
All right, let's take the shot. Let's kick off 2022 again. This is our
we're gonna kick off.
This is our 2022 redo.
No, it's not. Next Monday, I said.
But no, because for our show. Because yesterday it didn't. Right.
Well,
so
no,
cheers.
It's not 2022.
Cheers to you. Thank you for the hype train. Level 5. Could have been chilled a little bit. Was that just straight up warm? You didn't put it anything? Okay. But not the best transition. You all right? Yeah. When I go see DJ Faze at one of the clubs that he DJs at, we usually do a shot of Deep Eddies.
Oh.
The grapefruit. Is that grapefruit? Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. The reason we have a full circle moment with Deep Eddy is the first company to ever put a single dollar towards
anything we've done together.
Any project with Carla Marie and Anthony, with us, was Deep Eddy. They were the first ever sponsor
of My Day
Friday. They were actually one of the first ever podcast sponsors for iHeartRadio, because this is way before anyone even thought about making money on podcasts.
2015.
Yeah.
And not only that
not anyone making money on podcasts, iHeartRadio making money on podcasts.
Right. 2015, and we got to do a meetup. I can't even say meetup. It was an appearance. Like, we were paid to be at a happy hour sponsored by Deep Eddy, and it was the first time we got to meet My Day Friday listeners, and we had like a My Day Friday sign there. And I still have the pictures of it. It was one of the coolest events ever. Yeah,
we went to a barbecue spot in Manhattan, and then we got to go down the shore to DJs.
Oh, that's right.
And they actually had like DJs welcomes My Day Friday or something like that on their sign, on their big marquee. And if you're from the New York, New Jersey, Philly area, someone
DJs in Belmont
has blacked out and probably gotten into a fight at DJs.
Not a fight, but I blacked out.
It is one of those places that, and I just saw an ad for the new Jersey Shore family vacation show that's coming out.
Ooh.
I don't think they ever went there during the Jersey Shore. They didn't mention it once in the first season because like someone's like fling or something was going to DJs. But it's like an icon. All those places they went to try to be DJs.
Yeah, but they were like no names except
Karma.
Bamboo and Karma.
Well, they also probably, they needed places that were going to allow them to film and have.
And those places are huge. Bamboo and Karma are huge.
And on top of that, you've got to figure how many people were in the first season of
7.
Was it
Ronnie, 7? Paulie, Vinny, Sammy, Snooki, JWoww, and then
Angelina was part of it.
Angelina comes in later.
No, Angelina was one of the first ones, wasn't she? Wasn't. Okay, so let's say 7 people total. You've got to get producers, camera, because they're all like going in their separate directions. You've got to have at least probably 7 camera people, producers, sound people. So you had to, it was a huge production to be like, hey, could we all come to your bar and get wasted?
The first season probably wasn't that big of a production because they were probably, let's just try this thing.
That's true.
The Jersey Shore show saved MTV.
I think so. They're still milking it. That and Teen Mom. Teen Mom was pretty big. I saw they're doing a reunion on that. And the only reason I know that they're doing these things is because, she left early. She came in on time and left early. The only reason I know that these shows, the reunion shows, are happening is because I've been watching Yellowstone, and the Paramount Network is under MTV. It's an MTV production.
And Mike the Situation, I forgot him.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you had him. So 8.
Wow.
The only reason I know these shows are happening is because they run the promos for them on the Paramount Network. It's a real weird juxtaposition of
Going
like
from Yellowstone,
Jersey Shore, Teen Mom, Yellowstone, Jersey Shore, Teen Mom.
The guys that are watching Yellowstone must be like, what in the actual is happening?
You know, I will say, I don't want to sound like the person who I was like, oh, I listened to that band before anyone else. But the first 2 seasons of Yellowstone, just hear me out for a second. Give me 30 seconds to explain myself. Okay. One of the things that I loved the most about Yellowstone, obviously the show is incredible. I will not spoil anything. I just finished the last episode yesterday. First 2 seasons, one of the things I loved the most was the ads made sense for Yellowstone.
Like what?
Because it was such a new show that I don't think they had a lot of like sponsors and stuff. So you had like Yellowstone whiskey, you had Tractor Supply, you had John Deere, you had all of these companies that just like made sense. You had a cowboy boot company, you had a cowboy hat company. It was all of these ads that made sense, and you felt like even though they were commercials,
30 seconds.
You were still watching the show. That was pretty good.
That was good. What are the commercials now, though?
Oh, now it was yesterday, or not yesterday, maybe last week's episode. One of them, because sometimes they'll have like, presented with limited commercial interruptions thanks to blank. And it was Frito.
Kevin Costner does not approve.
It was like, here's Fritos. Dodge Trucks was also a big sponsor, but they drive Dodge in the show.
I'm curious. I am definitely attracted to Kevin Costner.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm
only in the show, though.
What do you mean?
Only in Yellowstone.
No,
I'm attracted to John Dutton.
John Dutton for sure. But I think that I would also be attracted to him IRL.
I don't think you would. I think less makeup, no cowboy hat, no cool lines to say. I think you're not.
What? So I don't really watch Yellowstone. I watch part of the first season, and then I watch whatever episode Anthony happens to be watching when I'm around, and then I ask all the questions to Anthony. He loves it.
Someone just said, it's Meg, not Megan, said Kevin Costner is definitely hot. Yeah, I think on that show, though, like, you're looking at, this is Kevin Costner today. You were looking at pictures 30 years ago.
I know, but look at what a fox.
Yeah, back in the day.
No, that's him now.
And
he's a DILF or a GILF.
And just like everyone, he ages. It's fine.
How old is he?
It's got to be 60, 65.
Okay, I need to know, though, if anyone watches the show, it drives me bonkers, which is probably the same thing when you watch our show, but Beth Dutton, they like bake her makeup too long or too much under her eyes.
I think it's part of like the look
of her just being an absolute train wreck.
Yeah, I really do. Because yes, her makeup, like she always looks kind of disheveled, but also badass at the same time.
I love her.
She's great.
Wait, what is
a couple seasons ago, I would say by season 2, maybe 3, Casey was my favorite character.
He's also very
Rip, absolutely my favorite character now.
Rip is...
He is like the guy that wears all black all the time. Yeah. So if you don't watch the show, I apologize.
Beth reminds me so much of my sister.
No.
You don't know my sister.
Ashley Marie?
They're the same person.
They're not the same person. They're similar, I guess.
The same person.
Thank you, Mama Mallory, for agreeing with me in the Twitch chat. She said, I agree. I think she's supposed to be a hot mess.
No, definitely. How old do you think Kevin Costner is?
60.
66.
Damn, I said 65 before, too, and I took it back.
Oh, his birthday's January 18th. Maybe we can get him on the show.
Probably not.
Do you think he would come? He wouldn't. Do you think he knows how to use like Zoom or Discord?
I think he's actually like probably pretty smart.
Does he have Instagram?
Kevin Costner?
Have you followed?
There's no way Kevin Costner runs his own Instagram. It's probably just like ads for
I tell you right now,
for Yellowstone.
I would keep my DMs because I do like DMing with people, having good conversations with them. But I would be like, someone just post for me.
Yeah.
Or someone film the reels and edit them for me.
Yeah. I did a Reels or a TikTok video the other day. It took me like 30 minutes.
It's like people seriously underestimate how long it takes to edit things. And most times now this is crazy. You have to edit a lot of Instagram Reels in like, I use Adobe Premiere, which is like an editing software that we pay for, because every time you edit in Reels, something crashes, something goes wrong. Baby Jake, who produces videos, will tell you the same thing, never edit in Reels. So if we're trying to actually do real content, you have to use a third party.
Well, because if the app crashes, you're done. It's everything you filmed.
It's happened.
Yeah. Someone just said, Tacoma Swiftie, I can't get into Yellowstone, but I love that others love it.
How nice of you.
It is nice.
I
really think Yellowstone's the best show on TV. Possibly the best show ever. It's only 4 seasons in, but Yellowstone's on my list. Definitely check it out. And unfortunately, I know they started like every episode of season 4. They started airing, but what was I going to say? Oh, I think to catch up on it, you have to have Paramount Plus. Like they're holding the show hostage so that people sign up for Paramount Plus.
So they are, but it's also available on Peacock.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah. I don't understand. Peacock is NBC, so
I don't know. Maybe they bought the rights to it.
My dad, I get home. This is the cutest thing. I get home for Christmas, and my dad's like, so everyone keeps telling me about this Yellowstone show with Kevin Costner, and I really like him, and I would like to watch it. And he's like telling me how my brother watches.
Your dad's going to love it.
My brother watches it, and my cousin watches it, and they were telling him he needs to watch it. So I finally go to look up. They have Comcast at home, and I go to On Demand, and you can watch the latest season on demand, but the first 3 you have to pay for. He's like, well, how much is it? I was like, $15. We're not doing that. So I started looking it up.
How much is a subscription to Peacock? Or
I have Peacock.
Oh, okay.
So now he's got his own little account.
Does he know how to use it?
I taught him.
I mean, if you question Kevin Costner using Zoom, I think we're allowed to question your dad using an app on a TV.
I have been meaning to ask him if he has watched it yet, because I walked him through it. I showed him, and then I said, here, now you do it. And I had him take the remote and do. I would be
like
a great I would be such a great teacher. I was like, now you do it, Dad. And then I was like, also, you can watch other things in here. We even picked out, his name is Whip, because that's his nickname. And even picked out, what is his, he wanted to pick Chucky as his.
Oh, the profile?
And I said, that means every time I open Peacock, I'm going to see Chucky. And he was like, oh, then pick something else, because he knows I'm deathly afraid. Let's see. What did he pick?
Oh, so Nolly said you should have Peacock with Comcast Xfinity.
Well,
like it gets bundled or something?
Oh, I picked Jurassic Park Dinosaur for him.
Okay. Is it because he's old?
He doesn't watch. It is now.
Let's see. Mama Mallory just said, y'all just ruined me. I Googled Cole Hauser, who is the actor who plays Rip, and he looks nothing like Rip. I don't even want to know. Because Rip is so cool. Like probably one of the cooler characters that's ever been on TV. Like badass. I don't want to see it. What do you think, Carla Marie? Is it ruined? Does he not have a beard in real life? Oh, yeah. He's a ginger?
That looks more like him.
Well, that's with the beard, yeah. Is he a ginger?
Well, that can't be.
The beard is very red.
He was in Die Hard? Stop.
Wow.
What is happening?
All right, yeah.
Nothing is real. I'm sticking with it. I'm joining the conspiracy theory that we're all in a simulation and nothing is real.
Cole Hauser was the bad guy from Too Fast, Too Furious. No.
Cole Sprouse?
Cole Hauser. Who's Cole Sprouse?
Cole and Dylan Sprouse.
I don't know who that is.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh, that's Zach. Okay, I don't know their real names.
The little boys from Full House.
I met them once, actually.
You did?
Yeah, they came in to Z100 for something, I think.
He was in Dazed and Confused.
Have you checked out 1883 yet? So this is getting down the Yellowstone rabbit hole. 1883 is the prequel show with Sam Elliott, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill. They're like the main 3 actors in it, actresses. It's the prequel to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode that was free.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because it came on after one of the episodes of Yellowstone. But I have not watched. It looks pretty good, though. It looks very Yellowstone-ish. Kind of same epic, like Western type of thing.
All right. I'll check it out. Maybe I should go back and watch.
We had so much other stuff to talk about. Let's get into it, though.
Okay.
What?
What is there?
What is there? There's pictures that you sent me that we were supposed to put up yesterday.
So we haven't it was in our newsletter, but for Christmas, so my brother told me 3 weeks before Christmas, he's like, hey, how long are you home for? Well, I was like, till December, whatever it was. He's like, okay, December 26th, I need you and Anthony to save like dinner time. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, maybe I'll come too. I'm like, okay. So I tell Anthony, I'm like, we're doing dinner with my brother. So my sister's like, yeah, this is your Christmas present. And I'm like, my Christmas present is dinner with my brother? Okay, whatever. I don't
I'll take a nice dinner.
Great. So Christmas Day, I open up a gift from my brother, and it says 2 tickets. It's got our names on it, our birthdays, everything, to The Climb in New York City. And I'm like, what is this?
Climb.
And the time is like 1 p.m. I'm like, this is not what I was prepared for. What is happening? He's like, oh, you're hanging over the building in New York City that's at Hudson Yards. It's like 1,400 feet up or whatever the hell
high.
it is. And you're hanging over the building. I'm like, you're coming? He's like, absolutely fucking not. I'm coming.
All right, here we go. Here's the picture of Carla Marie hanging off the side of a skyscraper.
Higher than the Empire State Building.
And you could see the Empire State Building is actually like under us at this moment.
Let me tell you what.
And keep in mind, when this picture was taken, Carla Marie, it doesn't look like it. It looks like she could just be standing on a ledge. It looks like, or what actually happened was her feet are on a ledge and her body is leaning back over it. And the only thing keeping her attached to the building is that rope that you see, those two ropes.
I would say that you and I have done some pretty
And this is me, by the way.
Oh, yeah. They didn't get our feet in the shot.
This is me. I was holding the Empire State Building.
Right? They didn't get our feet. They really messed up with that.
I mean, they took a ton of pictures. These are just the ones I grabbed.
When I tell you, do you have the pictures of the steps or no?
No, I did not post them.
We had a walk. Actually, that may have been the worst part. It was so windy. And you're walking up steps and there's no railing on the other side. I was like this, holding on.
It's a weird staircase, too. It's like staggered and very narrow.
We have done some crazy daredevil things. Mm-hmm. I told my brother that skydiving was less scary than that.
Yeah, partly because skydiving...
You don't feel it. You're so high.
You're so high, you don't see the ground.
I didn't have a parachute during that.
No. But I think the other part of skydiving is you're attached to someone. You're attached to a professional, and they basically throw you out of the plane with them. So this is a little different because the only scary part is when you're standing there on the edge and you're asked to lean back. Because then it's just like, okay, trust all the things we just did.
You do the lean back first.
What do you mean?
Then you lean forward. They don't have pictures of it. We leaned forward over the building. If I would have had to do forward first, I think I would have died.
Yeah, forward was cool, though.
That was like less scary because we had done back first. And we both have done rappelling.
Here's a better picture.
Oh, there you go.
I do have this one.
See your feet.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, what the heck?
What?
Why didn't you show these?
There we go. So that's a slightly better picture of Carla Marie leaning back over the edge of this gigantic skyscraper. I think it's the second tallest building in Manhattan.
And I was like, no, it's the tallest.
No, the One World Trade is the tallest.
No, that residential building's taller.
That's the tallest residential building.
Like, I was holding on to the thing. I was like, Once you feel your body catch, it's less scary.
Let me put myself up there.
We had rappelled 3 times down buildings for charity it's called Over the Edge is the charity we worked with. And we both knew, like, you're about to step over a building and you're like, no, I can't do it. The scariest part is until you feel it catch. Mm-hmm. And once you felt it there too,
then you're good.
Fine.
Then you put your hands out and you're like hanging out, you're making jokes. The guy actually told me I got yelled at for my feet. Because apparently my feet were too far over the edge at one point.
He didn't have his shoes tied.
Well, that was before I went over.
There was literally a man tying Anthony's shoes.
But then I was trying to make sure that I got a good lean. You know, I was trying to make sure I was like back and my legs were straight. But apparently you're supposed to have the whole sole of your foot, both feet.
Mine weren't
on the edge. Mine were like literally.
Mine were like that
like
too,
this
though.
On the side of the building.
I didn't get in trouble.
I got yelled at.
Because I'm sneaky.
The guy who does this every day was like, are you insane? Put your feet on the top of the building.
So someone said, what happens if you slip? And then someone also asked, what's the point of the helmet? So if you slip, you kind of like, they told us it's not going to be fun. You're going to be scared shitless. You're going to be fine. But it's also dangerous in a way, like you could get injured. You're not going to die. But like, that's what the helmet's for. If you like swing, because it was windy also. And there's like metal all above your head and everything. So if we would have hit each other, or everyone would have probably gone haywire. We were in a group of people, which was cool. And the guy who was next to us, his name was Richard.
Yes.
And he had just turned 50 the week before. And he was doing all these crazy things in the month of December to celebrate his 50th birthday. And when he went over, he was by himself. His friends wouldn't do it with him, he said. We all in our group sang happy birthday to him.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had planned a bunch of things to do by himself for his 50th, like different adventures, different like cultural experiences, things to get him out of his comfort zone. And a lot of them were canceled, obviously, to Omicron. But this is one of the things he was able to do, and it was pretty cool.
They're supposed to be giving us a video, but apparently the person had COVID, so they couldn't edit the video, but they took video.
I don't need the video. The pictures are good enough.
No, the video is going to be cool.
Like, this is a cool picture.
I got to check it if it's there.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like, I was scared. My brother was like, were you scared? I was like, yeah, I don't generally like get scared of that stuff, but I feel like as I get older, I am getting more scared of things. I won't bungee jump. I won't do it.
I think I would. Why not?
I'm not throwing myself off of anything.
I mean, I've skydived, I've rappelled, I've done this thing.
If they tell me I will take you and jump with you, then I would do it.
No, I don't want, because you're going to smack heads or something down there.
Well, you can bungee jump with, like, we could bungee jump in tandem.
Really? Your head?
Molly and Jason did it on Bachelor.
Do you go side by side? How do you do it?
I think you're attached to one another.
That doesn't make any sense because your heads are flailing around like crazy.
Have you seen people bungee jump?
Yeah, they go like.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. At the bottom when you whip around.
I would bungee jump with you if you promise to throw us off.
Yeah, that's an easy promise to make.
I want to do the thing that's like the giant swing over the canyons.
Let's see. Adrian, was it?
I'd rather base jump than bungee jump. No, base jump. But do I have a thing? A flying thing?
Adrenaline. No, is that adrenal? I can't read
Adrian.
that.
Are you saying adrenaline? Because
no, something.
it's Adriana Lissette.
Okay, 90. Said, has anyone done the tilt in Chicago? What is the tilt?
So it's glass.
Okay.
And it's in a building. So think about the same thing between that. And if you do the edge, which is something you can do without doing the climb, the edge, you have to pay like $36. You
Same
go to the
building.
top of the building. Well, not the top, almost the top. And the floor is glass. And you see straight down to New York City.
Okay.
So it's like that. It's glass. And you're on the side of a building inside in Chicago. And it tilts over.
Oh, I could definitely do that. That seems easier than what we did because you don't have to actually do anything. You just sit there.
Yeah. Bungee jump.
I think tandem bungee jump is like when they used to have at Six Flags and they strap you together. Oh, like side by side when the slingshot thing.
Yeah, but that's still easier because here's
The slingshot's insane.
not the slingshot. Remember me, you, and Steve did the daredevil dive?
Oh, is that what that is?
Slingshot, I've done that too. You go in it's like a big ball. And
That's right.
So here's the difference. When you're in that daredevil dive thing where you're all strapped together, you can feel like, the best way to describe it is you feel safe because you're strapped, right? With bungee jumping, you literally have slack and you have to walk off of a building.
Yeah.
You don't feel any.
Yeah, no, I think that's the point. Is like you're falling.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to say. The difference is, like, even with the climb, like, I watched someone else do it before me, and then I was like, okay, I got like 3 feet, and I'll feel it catch, and I'll be fine. Until they told me to look right at Central Park, and I screamed, oh, shit. Because I was...
Doesn't the Puyallup Fair have that? The bungee ride? It very well might. I think a lot of fairs have like the slingshot or bungee drop thing.
And I don't do those things anywhere where they get broken down and put back together, like the Puyallup Fair.
That's fair.
At somewhere like Six Flags, where it is all the time, I'll do it.
Well, you could make an argument for both, though.
They have to check it.
The one that's there all the time, like maybe people get a little comfortable and they're like, oh, everything works. The thing that they have to break down all the time, they've got to check every single time they build it back up.
No. There's more of a chance of someone messing up.
Whatever.
What if they're hungover and they're putting it together? I couldn't do it.
Let's see. Vicky said, I wasn't that adventurous to begin with, but after becoming a mom, you start to look at things a lot differently. I'll just spectate. You know what's funny?
Court and Mike have said that to me. Is it Court that wants to go skydiving, but now she won't?
Just don't do it together. That way, if one of you dies, the other one's fine. And neither of you are going to die, by the way. But I remember
trying to find these.
When I went to Vegas with Greg T. the frat boy, who used to work on Elvis Duran's Elvis Duran in the Morning Show. He was supposed to do the free fall from the top of the
Stratosphere.
I was about to say Space Needle. So he was supposed to do the controlled free fall from that.
But like you have to fall a bit, right? Like it's the same thing.
It's like 12 feet and then it catches you.
Yeah, that's.
But once it catches you, it really just like someone lower. It feels like someone's physically lowering you down.
I could gag at bungee jumping.
But I remember he completely broke down. And Greg T has done a lot of things. He's gone skydiving, even though they had to take him up twice to do it and then basically kick him out of the plane.
That was my first week of officially working for Elvis Duran in the Morning Show.
When
he panicked.
Oh, so he has a complete meltdown. And I remember him talking to me afterwards. He's like, out of all the crazy things I've done, he's like, this is the first like adrenaline life risking thing that I've done since I had kids. He's like, and I just kept thinking like I can't die because I have kids.
Oh.
And it was cute. And then I remember Danielle Monero on air saying, well, just let Anthony do it. He doesn't have anyone. And my mom was like, no, he has parents.
Well, I remember Elvis saying to me, get on the phone with Anthony and ask him if he'll do it. So me, I literally have been there. I think it was my second day of work. Second day.
Okay.
And I was like, hi, Anthony. Elvis wants to know if you will do this.
Yeah. Well, I talked to Scary, and he was the one that he was like, all right, you're going to do it. When we come back from break. And the only scary thing for me, now Scary is someone on the show, if you're not familiar. The only scary thing for me, frightening, was I was fine, right? Everything happened so fast. They got me in Greg T's suit. They strapped me up with his harness and everything. And as I was walking out, like I'm on the air, and I know Elvis and everyone in the studio was saying something, but all I was thinking of was, wait a second. They gave Greg T like a 40-minute like tutorial, and granted I was there for it. And then they like sized him up for his suit. They like sized him up for his harness. And they just gave me all that. And Greg T and I are like, he's got to be 5'8".
You're like the odd couple. No, that's not that. Like Freak the Mighty.
He's got to be 5'8", 5'9". He at the time probably weighed like 60 pounds more than me. And I'm 5'11". So the size difference was very different. Oh. You right there? And I remember walking out there going, I don't know if they checked me as thoroughly as they were supposed to. And I turned around to the guy right before I went. And I was like, I'm good, right? And he said, yep. All right, time to jump. And I just went. That was my only concern. My concern wasn't that the whole thing is safe. And it was a lot of fun, especially because I was the first person to ever go at night or when it was dark out.
Oh, I was like, it wasn't night.
It was 4 a.m. in Vegas. So I got to see all the lights of Vegas just right in front of me as I plummeted down. And thank you, Lenny from Queens in the Twitch chat. Yes, I'm 5'11" and 3/4. I'm right there. I'm so close.
So this was Molly and Jason bungee jumping.
Oh, so they're like face to face?
Yeah, I think their hips are attached.
That's got to be
I could do that
hazard.
with you.
That's got to be a hazard of some sort.
Cat sitting up against the door on the outside.
They're fine. They'll be okay.
They can't be apart from us.
Last night, Max and I were watching the season finale of Yellowstone together. Gave her some popcorn. She's a big popcorn fan.
Loves popcorn.
Yeah. And for the record, before someone's like, oh my God, you're going to kill a cat, I give her like a crumb of popcorn.
You have to take out, what do I teach you?
What do you teach me? I don't know. I'm not a 6-year-old.
Take out the kernel part. Like
I don't give her. I don't even give her the kernel part.
Flaky, like the hard part.
I don't give her that. It's just white popcorn.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because she gags.
And it's very, very small. Go read that. Go for it.
Megan said Hannah Brown did naked bungee jumping with someone her season of The Bachelor.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
No.
I mean, Hannah's also like, she's a thinner, not large-chested woman from what I remember.
That's not true.
Does she have big boobs?
She has boobs.
Hannah Brown? Does she?
I don't know. Mine would have moved, but
I just can't imagine. Like, as a guy, I can't imagine doing that naked because things are just flopping around and hanging and looking all weird. Also, just the penis in general isn't like an attractive thing.
But now I'm like looking at this girl's boobs, so it's weird.
Well, let us know. Like, I don't think she's like, listen, she's beautiful. I'm not saying anything bad about Hannah Brown.
Maybe not. No. There's something there. They're big.
Of course there's something there.
Yeah, it would definitely hurt. Wait, was she topless, though?
Well, if she's naked, that's what naked means.
But I'm going to have to go watch that today.
You go watch her bungee jump naked?
Yeah.
I don't want to see anyone bungee jump fully naked. None of that sounds fun, attractive, pleasant.
No.
So Megadamian said in Twitch, I believe they were both fully naked.
Nah, I'm not going to do that one.
Doing it naked or watching it?
Naked.
Okay, yeah. The other two things that happened while we were gone, two very big things. One, Betty White unfortunately passed away.
I can't.
You can't what?
Because I was home. My mom had the People magazine article of Betty White on the cover. Betty White turns 100. It said January 17th. And I literally said to my mom, I just hope she makes it to that.
Don't you think that's a little presumptuous I'm glad she saw it, right? Because there was a tweet of from Betty White that said, like, you could tell she was very excited to see it. She was excited to have the attention from People magazine. A little presumptuous to put that out there before her actual
not
birthday.
turned.
Still.
It's print. This is what we do.
Let it happen.
So the magazine was out. There was supposed to be a whole, which I'm sure is still going to air, a whole special about her.
Oh, cool. Well, that's crazy because the NFL did their special about John Madden.
I know.
So when I get that age, although John Madden was only like 85, it wasn't,
I hit 60. There better be a special about me just in case.
No. Don't do a special about me because apparently that's like the kiss of death.
So I saw a meme yesterday that will help all of us feel a little better.
Okay.
It said Betty White was 99 years old. She was born in 1922.
Crazy.
And has lived through how many leap years? They said, I'm going to assume that she made it these 17 days.
You add all those days.
When you add all them up, she was 100.
That's fair.
I was like, I'll take that.
I did like the picture of all the Golden Girls hugging, and they were like,
With the angel?
oh, I didn't see with the halo.
They all had their halo.
It was a picture from the actual Golden Girls that I saw.
I saw like a cartoon sketch of them.
Okay.
I can't.
So that happened. Obviously, everyone shouted her out on New Year's Eve. All of the different specials shouted her at some point. I think I know Bobby. I watched his a little bit, and he had the whole crowd in Centennial Park in Nashville cheering for her. Which I found out anything that was done on stage was actually live in Nashville.
Oh wow,
which is cool. The Miranda Lambert stuff. Anytime they cut to someone,
it's like all shows
in a bar or whatever. That was all pre-recorded. Yeah. Did you watch any of them? Because you were flying.
Nope, that was my plan. And then I was like, honestly, I'm not paying for Wi-Fi. And I could when you get the free Wi-Fi on Alaska, you could still go on like TikTok and Instagram. So I just watched TikTok videos for 3 hours.
You could have gone on YouTube TV.
I had to pay for that though, because streaming costs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. I'm tired. I'm just going to go on TikTok. And then I said to you, can you record them through YouTube TV? I'm going to watch them this weekend as I go into 2022.
So I watched a little bit of Bobby Bones' CBS broadcast, which was very country heavy. It was good. It was actually done really well. And then I watched a little bit of the Ryan Seacrest broadcast. But you got to remember that I'm in LA at this point, and it's like tape delayed. And I caught a little bit of the end of the last one. And where they lost me, I think Ryan Seacrest is the smoothest host I have ever seen in my life. I've even talked to people that he works with, because I remember asking our friend Erica and some other people that he works with very closely on a daily basis. I'm like, does he just pre-record everything and like cut out his stutters or his ums?
Does he stutter?
And every single person, from EJ to Erica to Sissany to John, every single person was like, no, I have never seen that guy stutter or misspeak. He's just the most smooth. So he as a host is incredible. I caught one of the parts of that broadcast where they threw to one of the other hosts or co-hosts or whatever, and they're like, Planet Fitness wants you to get in shape for the new year, so let's do a dance break. And it was just a bunch of people doing some stupid ass dance. And I was like, I'm out of here. That's it.
Yeah.
It's such a big show that it's so sold that like everything is some sort of weird.
Everything is sponsored.
Yeah. So then I went to Miley and Pete Davidson, and that's where I landed the rest of the night.
I can't wait to watch that one.
I didn't see the wardrobe malfunction that Jordy Matthew just mentioned in the chat, but it was basically like a trimmed down SNL episode because they had skits and whatnot.
Oh, no.
And
I love Pete Davidson. I don't care.
And then just Miley doing her own concert with like a bunch of different people that came out and joined her. So like Noah Cyrus came out. That was the first time they were on stage together. They did Jolene. So like I was with our friend EJ and my cousin Michelle. We had Popeyes and sushi.
Oh, damn.
And champagne and margaritas, all in the same.
And in a second, I'm going to talk about the douchiest thing Anthony has ever done to me. Continue.
Okay.
Your face.
It's got to be pretty high on the list because I've done a lot of douchey things in my life. And I remember they were both like yapping about something. I was like, guys, Jolene is being played right now, and you both need to shut it because this is my favorite song of all time.
Your favorite song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to watch it. I love Miley and I love Pete. I don't care what anybody says about either of them.
So what did I do that was douchey?
So texting Anthony that I landed. It's like 11:15 p.m. on New Year's Eve. I'm like, baggage is taking forever. He's like, it sucks. Like, I'm sorry. You have to like carry all your bags. Yeah. I'm like, well, they're my bags. It's fine. Like,
yeah, but I would have helped.
I know. I was like, I'm fine.
Because you had a duffel or a small carry-on rolling bag and a big rolling bag.
Because I had I had gifts and then I had You Look Great gear for us that I got shipped to my parents. Like, it was just like a whole bunch of stuff.
And these guys?
These guys were in there. So I get to the cab line and I'm like, oh my God, the cab line is so long. I text Anthony. I'm like, it is 19 degrees out. It's freezing. and I'm in line. It's like 11:57 p.m. and I'm watching the little girl in front of me with her parents, and she has a countdown on her phone. It turns midnight, and it was so like I was so happy I got to watch them. She was like, "Yay!" And they took a selfie together, and then the mom turned around to me. She's like, "Happy New Year!" I'm like, "Happy New Year!" And then I call Anthony, and he doesn't answer. I'm like, "I'll just go fuck myself." Okay, cool. And then he calls me back, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in the cab line." He's like, "Happy New Year." It's so cool. I'm watching all these fireworks. This is crazy. I can see fireworks from everywhere, and we're popping champagne and all this stuff. I'm like, it was
great.
I was like, cool. Well, I hope you have fun. I'm in the cab line of 30 something people now, and it's freezing, and I'll be home by 2 a.m. And he's like, "Oh, okay." Bye.
Well, maybe you should have just been happy for me, you know?
I was like, "Go have fun. Happy New Year."
No, it was really cool.
Very impressed that I didn't cry in that moment. I didn't cry at all.
I was trying to like bring you in, you know? I was trying to be like, we're celebrating together.
That's exactly what I felt like.
Well, didn't I call you on Duo or something?
No, I called you
Yeah.
when I got home on Duo to let you know that the cats locked themselves in the bedroom for 12 hours.
No, it was an unexpected, unplanned New Year's Eve celebration. Basically, when we got to LA, we were hanging out with my cousin Michelle. We were
Not supposed to be in LA.
No.
We had to rebook to LA because there were no direct flights to Seattle.
Yeah, there were plenty.
But there were.
So we met up with my cousin Michelle. Erica joined us as well. And once my plans once my flight got canceled because we were on separate flights, I asked my cousin Michelle what she was doing for New Year's Eve.
Nothing.
She said nothing. I'm going home. So, okay, cool. And I will say there were a couple people who found out that I was stuck in LA, and they all reached out and like, "Hey, if you want to join us for our New Year's celebration, come hang out." And then EJ met up with us before Carla and Marie went to the airport. And I said, "Hey man, what are you doing tonight?" He's like, "I got to record some things," because he was hosting something for Kiss FM in LA. Other than that, I've got nothing. I said, "All right, well, come over to Michelle's place. We'll order some sushi. We'll hang out." Super low key. He brought champagne and Popeyes. Michelle made margaritas, and she also ordered sushi. And then we went up. She lives in like an area called Mid City in Los Angeles. And when you go to her rooftop, you can see all of the fireworks that all the different neighborhoods and suburbs are like doing.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
That's cool.
And because LA is super flat, you can see for like miles.
I saw one firework when I was landing. And then by the time I got in my cab, I saw some lights at the Space Needle, but that was about it. So,
But you got here earlier with your bag.
This weekend, I hope there's a fireworks show I can experience somewhere as I actually celebrate 2022.
Oh, I just realized we glossed over that. What is Duo? Google Duo is basically FaceTime for Android, but you can use it on
All of
any
things.
phone.
This is how we communicate via video chat because Anthony has an Android.
Although now you can invite me to FaceTimes, right?
I can invite you to FaceTime.
And I have to go to like a web
It's weird.
portal of some sort. I don't want to be on FaceTimes.
Audi Swan said, "Have you talked about your matching dress debacle yet?" So it wasn't actually a debacle. So we had a wedding on December 30th in Jersey City, New Jersey. Beautiful wedding. Like, we had so much fun. But my friend Becca had said to me like a few weeks prior, she's like, "I'm probably going to wear this dress again," like sent a picture of it because we were talking about what we're wearing. And it was this green dress. And then my niece messaged me a few days later and was like, "I have this dress. It doesn't fit. Do you want it?" And I was like, "I actually need a dress for a wedding because the one I have isn't fitting right. And that's all I have." And I was like flying home at that point. And I was like, 5 days later, I was like, "Oh my God, I think that's the same kind of dress that Becca's wearing." And I sent it to her and she didn't say anything. And like 5 days later, she was like, "Oh, I just realized. Oh, well, we're going to match."
Yeah.
It was slightly different, but there were like 5 of us at the wedding that all had on emerald green dresses.
It was a green wedding.
All the guys were like, "Is emerald green like the new color?" And we're like, "Yeah, I mean,
Oh, what is the Pantone color for this year?
it's like a periwinkle,
Oh, I like that. Is it like lavender-ish?
a little darker than lavender."
I like that. I'm a big fan of that color.
It came up on the Govee app for our lights.
I'm a big fan. Oh, you can do it for this light.
I don't have that one. No. Like, this app gave me the option. Look,
Yeah, let me see. It's got to be in. You don't have these lights on your app?
I don't think so.
For the record, a lot of people do ask me, and I got similar lights for my cousins for Christmas. Govee is the brand that we use.
Govee.
You can always message me at Worst Anthony on Instagram or Twitter. Here's Studio Strip Light. Let's see. Or Light Strip. I don't know. I said Strip Light. Does it give me that color? Oh, it doesn't give it to me.
Yeah, like it's. Oh,
That's weird.
I can give you the
No, it's fine. We're good.
No, wait. It doesn't give you like the number?
No. I'll figure it out later, and we'll make our lights the color of the year. Does
it
Pantone?
Is. It looks like a husky purple. You're right. Eats and tweets.
So Pantone just decides on their own, like, hey, this is the color we think is going to be the color of 2022?
I don't know. They take something into consideration.
Or do they ask people?
They may do a vote.
What else do we have here? Yeah, so Tacoma Swifty brings up a good point. There were fireworks going off until like 2 a.m., especially in Los Angeles. I mean, where we were, people were letting them off like right in the street in front of my cousin's place. And these were big fireworks. And her dog handled it pretty well, was a little scared at times, especially if like the firework went right over our heads, which happened a couple times. It's got to be terrifying for cats and dogs.
Yeah, there weren't many here. I mean, there may have been before I got home.
Yeah. What time did you get back to Seattle or to the apartment or house, whatever this is?
A house.
Yeah.
One-ish.
Yeah, so that's hopefully all done.
The Pantone Color Institute studies color trends throughout the year in order to decide on the next Pantone color of the year. They take into consideration all aspects of society, fashion, marketing, social media, and even politics.
Oh, so is purple supposed to be like, hey, we should all come together now because we've been so divided, so we're going to put red and blue together for a purple color? Maybe, if they're trying to get politics involved, which is, I think, a dumb thing for colors.
It's called Very Perry. First color of the year to be created especially for the occasion. Oh, so this color didn't exist.
Oh, so this is just a marketing ploy to sell whatever paint
Maybe.
or something.
Celebrating the way our lives have changed with the pandemic and how our collective creativity is expanding to new heights. All previous colors were chosen from existing colors in the Pantone color system.
Okay.
So in 2000 was the year it looks like they first started doing this.
This is a newer thing. I mean, smart branding on that, because why would anyone talk about Pantone other than this time of year every year? So, who's got a birthday? I see happy early birthday from someone.
To me?
Martha's birthday? Martha, are you January 13th? We'll get that answer in a little bit.
Did Martha just have a birthday?
Well, we'll figure it out later. What else do we have today? Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about, which happened more recently while we were gone, is Antonio Brown.
Oh.
So Antonio Brown, if you're not familiar with the story, he's been around the NFL. He's been in trouble with teams. He's been in trouble with the law. And not to be glossed over at all, actually had some sexual assault allegations as well. So I don't want to minimize any of that. But what happened over the weekend was he essentially quit on the Tampa Bay Bucks. And the stories that I'm reading are basically he was asked to go into the game and didn't want to, and got into an argument with the coach and decided at that moment he was going to walk off the field
shirtless
on his own, throw his gloves, his jersey, and his shoulder pads into the crowd and walk out.
Yep.
Now, when you watch it with zero context, you go, wow, that guy's crazy, right? That's like the first thing you think of. Your gut reaction is probably that guy's insane. Mm-hmm. Then you realize this guy's been getting hit in the head his whole career. And there's actually a very specific hit with Antonio Brown. He was playing the...
I saw people commenting this, like he hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, so he got rocked by a player on the Bengals whose name I'm blanking on at the moment. I'm sure someone in the chat will put it in there. And he was like laid out, like one of the worst headshots you will see in the NFL.
But just to be clear, he was not a great person before that, right?
He's had some issues, yes.
Yes, just want to make sure. But, like, head injuries are no fucking...
Exactly. Yeah, he was playing for the Steelers. The player was on the Bengals. He also just came off of a suspension. Thank you for reminding me, Mikey, that he had...
we talked about this.
Faked a vaccination card. So he's a wild card to begin with. But I think when you look at that specific moment, right, you strip away all of his other issues, you look at that specific moment, and it's just a player who broke down.
Yeah.
And his brain clearly, and from before this, is just off. I mean, he's gone on Twitter rants. He's gone on Facebook rants. He's randomly like quit multiple times on Instagram. I mean, it's a guy who probably needs a lot of help.
Yep.
And even with all the help he could get, his brain is probably just broken beyond, therapy repair.
Yeah.
It's physically broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one day we'll get some sort of insight. And it's so hard because it's such a wild thing to watch where you do kind of want to make fun of him. But then I keep trying to pull myself back and say, you know what? That's someone who's probably having one of the worst days of his life in that moment. But
yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, he also lost a crap ton of money by doing that as well. All he had to do was make it like one more game and get some bonuses for making it through the end of the year. And that didn't work. What else do we have here? And he did absolutely look like a child having a tantrum.
I think it's a mix of maybe wasn't the best person before.
Yeah.
And that happens with a lot of people in general in sports or in areas you feel untouchable, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have all this money, they can get away with anything, and they act out. And a lot of times it's like the Justin Bieber effect of you were young when you got all of this fame. Your brain never grew up, but you had access to everything before you were fully developed. So it's just a clusterfuck. Then you add into that being beat in the head for year after year after year. It's just a bad recipe.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think it's interesting with Antonio Brown. You can't blame all of his actions on a head injury.
No, he's just been always crazy.
I think what you saw in that moment was just everything about Antonio Brown, personal, physical, mental, all came out in the same moment.
Yeah.
Like this guy has been unhinged for a long time in terms of the way he's acted towards teammates and coaches and other people. I did not watch the Aaron Hernandez special yet, Renee, but I do want to watch it at some point. So it's like, it's hard to defend Antonio Brown because he's definitely had like repeated behavior.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
it's not help.
It's I don't know. It's tough to like really make him out to be a supervillain, which is what a lot of people will try to do. It's just, we'll never know fully.
Lisa said you can't tell if he has CTE until he's passed away.
Well, hopefully we don't find that out for a while then. I don't want to see that anytime soon if that's the case.
There needs to be a new way to detect it.
I don't know. I remember watching a special about Chris Benoit, who was the pro wrestler.
Yeah.
One of the most tragic, disgusting stories you'll hear. He murdered his whole family, then committed suicide in his home gym. They opened up his brain afterwards to do an autopsy and basically found that like out of all of the CTE or brain damage scans they've ever done, he was like by far the worst. And I guess they can tell instances of CTE with like little dots that are on the brain. And they said his was just like riddled with dots. So his brain was, and I'm sure the steroids and a lifetime of aggression didn't help.
No.
But it's crazy. Let's see. Wait, there was supposed to be a Jake Paul Antonio Brown fight that was supposed to happen. I did not know about that. Was that before he fought Nate Robinson? Because Nate Robinson did not seem prepared.
I didn't watch.
Yeah, you watched the Nate Robinson one. That was when he knocked out the basketball player.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nick Fury is my guy.
Nick Fury?
Jake Fury? Paul Fury. Fast and Furious.
Keep going. You saw
No, it's Nick Fury.
Nick Fury is from the Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D. No, don't look it up. Don't look it up. Keep going. What other Furies do you have, Carla Marie?
It's Feury.
Yes.
Nick Fury is, what's his name in the Avengers? What's his name?
Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah.
Paul?
Paul? Nope.
It's not John. It's not Jake.
Once you get this, we'll turn off the stream.
No, I'm never going to get it. Tommy. Guy Fieri. Phototech is right. Phototech. I never saw that name before.
Tyson Fury is the actual boxer who's had a pretty prolific career. His half-brother, I believe, Tommy, is also fighting out of Great Britain. I think he's got about 7 fights under his belt, and he's supposed to be the next person that Jake Paul fights, which will be interesting because it'll be a younger person.
Yeah, F-U-R-Y.
A younger person who also is an actual trained boxer and has had actual boxing matches under his belt. But what show was he on that made him famous?
Tommy?
Yeah, he was on like Love and something.
Oh, was it Love Island?
Maybe. He was on one of those shows.
Yeah, Love Island.
Love Island.
No, I didn't watch Love Island.
He's a good-looking guy. He's a large dude.
He's Italian?
I don't know. He's British. I don't know where, like, he looks Italian because he's
not Italian.
like very dark features.
I gotta research. I gotta do a book.
But I'm 99%. He's British, right?
I think so. Yeah, because he starts talking and I'm like,
actually why Jake Paul wore the British flag. He wore like a Union Jack outfit.
Yeah, he's British.
To his last fight. And it said basically it had a little message for Tommy Fury.
He's only 22 years old.
Well, that's supposed to be who Jake Paul is fighting next. And I also did watch when I was quarantining in Florida. Mm-hmm. I did watch the last Jake Paul fight. And I've got to give Jake Paul credit. I know a lot of people want to hate on him, but the guy has made boxing a little bit more like wrestling. Relevant. With like some of the trash talk and some of the theatrics and the pop culture crossover and whatnot. And he's made a lot of people a lot of money. And one of the things that I do love is the last two fights he's had a woman as the co-headliner. And they're getting paid more than they've probably ever gotten paid.
Crazy. In
the actual boxing world, which is kind of cool to see. And he's giving people a platform to make a name for themselves. Now, does he one day have to fight a real boxer to be legitimate? Probably.
Who do you think is the craziest person he could fight? Like the best boxer in the world.
Oh, I don't know how big he is because normally boxing matches go by height or by weight. So I'd have to figure that out. But I think if he fought any current decent boxer, he would validate himself. He's never fought a boxer yet. Yeah. In boxing matches. He's fought an NBA basketball player. He's fought two former past their prime UFC fighters. Granted, they were champions at some point, but like Ben Askren, when he fought him, did not seem prepared at all.
Ben Askren looked like, who's the country guy?
Ben Askren looked like he hadn't hit a gym in 3 years. As a professional athlete, like you expected a little more. Conor McGregor would be interesting. I think he's a lot bigger than McGregor.
He's much taller than McGregor.
So I don't know if that would be good. And again, who knows if McGregor is still in his prime.
This is interesting because there's two completely different opinions back to back in the chat.
Yeah.
Jay Cross said, this is why people think boxing is a joke now. And Jordy Matthews said, he's bringing a lot of positive attention to a sport that was dying.
And I think both can be true. They don't have to live in a vacuum. I think boxing, one of the things that boxing, and I'm not the biggest boxing fan in the world. I have watched matches at times. One of the things that makes boxing a joke, honestly, is the fact that there is no...
They wear gloves.
No, it's not the gloves. It's there's no uniform structure to boxing, right? There's no one that always has to put the best two boxers against each other at all times. So you end up with really great young boxers going undefeated because they're fighting nobodies instead of fighting guys who are at their level. And I think the promoters make boxing a joke.
Yeah.
I think the boxers do a great job. Obviously, that's their life's work. Then you have someone like Jake Paul who can come in and bring a lot of eyeballs. Like you talk to any boxer who has been on a fight with Jake Paul, and they are making more money than they did without Jake Paul. And even the UFC fighters are getting bigger paydays by fighting Jake Paul than they were in UFC. So he's pushing.
I want to see him lose.
He's pushing, quote unquote, the establishment, if you will, to pay more out to the fighters, which is always good.
Mama Sarah's right though. Like I hate hearing his name for some reason. Well, because
I think Logan is a piece of shit.
Which one did all the shitty YouTube stuff?
Mostly Logan. Logan's the one who fought Mayweather recently in like the stupidest fight of all time.
Who's older?
Logan. Logan, if you look at both of them, you go, I don't like Logan.
Who's the one that went to the place on YouTube where all the dead bodies were hanging?
I'm not 100% sure. I think that was Logan. You look up, yeah.
What do I even fucking Google? Paul.
Jake Paul actually is starting to win me over a little bit. Logan Paul, I hate him.
I also just realized why everyone was like, it's so dark when we started the show. because it was so dark. It hasn't. Think about timing wise.
Oh, the outside?
Yeah.
That's true. That light usually, that was, if you rewind, that was probably a lot darker coming through the window. Oh, so Tacoma Swifty said, yes, CM, that was Logan Paul.
Yeah.
The guy who, wasn't it like a forest in Japan?
It's a place in Japan where people go and believe, let's see. An American YouTube star has prompted a barrage of criticism after he posted a video which showed the body of an apparent suicide victim in Japan. The video showed Logan Paul and friends at the, I'm going to butcher this, Aokigahara Forest at the base of Mount Fuji, known to be a frequent site of suicides. Going to film the haunted forest, they came across a man's body and are shocked, but also make jokes. Online comments have called the video disrespectful. The video was uploaded Sunday.
Yeah, lady from Queens in the chat just said, Logan disrespected all of Japanese culture in like 30 minutes. Logan seems like the guy who will do anything to get a rise out of an audience. Like, it doesn't matter. He has no morals, whatever.
Which is crazy, being an older sibling. That's normally a younger sibling trait.
Yeah. And wasn't one of them like a Disney actor for like a day?
I don't know.
I think that's how Logan eventually got, or originally got big on Vine. One of them was a Disney
I'm Googling, but
channel
someone's gonna know the
person.
answer.
Disney actor.
Jake Paul.
Oh, Jake was the one on Disney.
Oh my God, what little babies.
The Logan Paul fight, though, when he fought Mayweather, was the biggest joke I've ever seen.
Bizarre Dvark was the show he was on.
All right, Logan. So I saw that. I saw Logan and Mike Tyson kind of, there were talks about both of them being in a match together.
What?
I actually, and as much as I respect Mike Tyson as a boxer specifically, I actually don't know, because he's got to be pushing 60 right now, right?
Oh my God, my Google's on fire today. I'm going to run out of searches.
And yeah, he's a trained boxer, probably one of the best to ever do it. But at some point, the age factor has to play.
He's 55.
55.
Younger than Kevin Costner.
Jake Paul is around between 26 and 28, I believe. I don't know. I think at some point that age does play a factor.
Yeah.
Would I still, if I had money to bet on him, would I bet it on Jake or Mike Tyson? Probably Tyson. But we'll see. I would love to see that one day. Because that's a boxer that's way past his prime. So, and it would be a huge fight. I mean, they would make millions and millions of dollars.
I only know Mike Tyson as being in The Hangover. That's my...
Yeah, I mean, probably one of the best boxers of all time, if not the best boxer of all time. Also went to jail for rape.
Yeah, so...
Or sexual assault. So, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's why I said I respect Mike Tyson as a boxer specifically.
Okay.
So, because I think...
But can you respect someone for anything after they do something like that?
I think you can say he was a great boxer. Like, you can't take that part away. That doesn't mean I want to be friends with him. It doesn't mean I have absolved him of anything else that he's done.
Okay.
I think Mike Tyson is one of the best boxers of all time.
Yeah,
he also bit off Evander Holyfield's ear.
I was a kid. Like, I remember that happening and being like, what?
Yeah.
So I do remember that.
So again, I don't respect Mike Tyson as a person, but I can still say he was a great boxer.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with someone recently about music. It was like, if someone, like R. Kelly is a great example, right? Like,
can I still listen to Ignition?
Like, if Ignition comes on in a bar, am I supposed to
I'm going to download it illegally on Napster
get all the viruses?
and then not give him any of my streams.
So but it's interesting. Like, if a DJ plays that, right, at a bar that I'm on the dance floor or a club, am I supposed to just walk off? I don't know.
Such a good jam.
It's a great song. I Believe I Can Fly. Phenomenal song.
He should have to go to jail and give up all royalties.
I agree with that. Or the victims of whatever those people do, whether it's a murder,
stream it all day then,
sexual assault, whatever. They get all the royalties, which I don't think you can legally do. But like Chris Brown, another great example. I mean, if Chris Brown and R. Kelly went on tour today, they would still sell out their tour. They're still huge fans of both.
What if bad things come out about Earth, Wind, and Fire? What do I do? That's like my favorite song.
Then I don't know. You got to figure it out. Exactly. And Robbie Never. Chris Brown is still big, and he's definitely made some bad moves. I mean, between beating Rihanna, throwing chairs out windows, and all the other things that he's done.
Fred the Mailman said, I just made t-shirts for a friend that say you can love the art and not the artist.
Yeah. And I think you can. But like if I go to stream a Chris Brown song right now, and granted it's half of a penny that he'll get if I specifically stream it, or an R. Kelly song or something.
Yeah.
Like if you hear it on the radio, actually, and I know people get mad at radio stations all the time, that artist makes no money. It like literally is insignificant to the artist's bottom line.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I can like this song, not like the artist, but if I play the song on a streaming service or on YouTube, I'm directly benefiting the artist.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't have the answer. I'm just throwing it out there.
So I think maybe the best option is one of us burns a CD. Like maybe one of us buys a Chris Brown CD and we burn it, and we burn copies for everyone here. And that's what we do.
Because Chris Brown's first album, you ever listen to it like straight through?
No.
Amazing. It's an amazing first album. And he was, 16 at the time?
Yeah, but like...
Great album.
I don't condone domestic violence.
No, of course. And that's... But again, it goes back to the discussion of if you like this song, are you condoning the action?
No.
Because then you have to... This is the interesting part, because I've talked to my brothers about this too. At what point do you draw the line?
Yeah, like...
Like Sam Hunt got arrested for drunk driving. That's unbelievably dangerous.
It is. You are correct.
Right? Dante Stallworth killed a guy drunk driving. He played for the Eagles for a while.
I can give up the NFL. If that's an option, I'll give it up.
He eventually played back in the NFL later. I don't know. I don't have, and again, I don't have the answer. This is one of my favorite things to do, by the way, is to just bring things up that I don't even pretend to have an answer about, and just say, this is an interesting thing to talk about.
And so this is a great point. A. Jane said, I have a hard time with Michael Jackson music, and the music was my favorite.
Yeah.
Then like, what about the Jackson 5?
Like they played at the wedding we were at. They played on the 30th. There was a live band, but they played Pretty Young Thing, I believe.
They did?
They played a Michael Jackson song. I want to say it was PYT.
There was a good point in that wedding that I was like, I realized, Carla Marie, you need to stop drinking. And I'm very proud of myself for that, because I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then I was fine.
Yeah. And this is great. Mega Damien in the Twitch chat says, everyone draws their own lines. It's based on what beliefs and values are most important to you. Agreed. And if you decide not to support an artist or whatever, that is a decision you can make. I can make a different one. You know?
Wait, Chris Brown was not 17 years old when he
was.
17 years old
Yeah.
when he punched Rihanna?
Oh, no, not when he punched Rihanna. He wasn't 17 when he punched her. He was in his 20s when he punched her.
Yeah.
From what I understand. He was 17 when he made his first album, but he didn't date Rihanna for years after that.
So it's okay to like music before they're bad things.
Again, another point to make is, okay, well, I liked all of this stuff before they did that terrible thing, right? What if, for example, and I don't think this would ever happen, we've both met the person, they seem phenomenal. What if Pete Wentz murdered like 6 people tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, can I listen to the previous music?
No, but
it's not fair to the rest of the band.
Okay. Ed Sheeran.
Oh.
Single artist, right?
Ed Sheeran doesn't leave his castle.
Ed Sheeran, we find out, is I don't know, he kills cats. Hates them.
But he has Teddy's photos.
Yeah. Not interested in this not interested in this hypothetical right now.
If Ed Sheeran robbed a bank, whatever. Money's fake. I don't care.
So again, where do we draw the line? Right? And I'm gonna say this and it'll rise some people up. Like DaBaby had his rant on stage at Lollapalooza, or he got pulled from Lollapalooza?
And I was like, he's a piece of shit. I don't want to hear him anymore.
Again, but those were words.
Not even an action.
Not an action. Sam Hunt.
But those words definitely cause actions.
Sam Hunt goes drunk driving. An actual offense that puts human beings in danger.
Yep.
Again,
he put people in danger, but he didn't cause danger.
Keep in mind, the reason I'm bringing this up, because this is somehow going to come back and bite me in the ass. I am not defending or justifying either person's actions. All I'm saying is, where do we draw the line? If someone says something that we don't like, do we have to cancel them? And then if someone who is more agreeable and better looking in Sam Hunt does something actually illegal, do we allow it to go?
So who
just a
I think,
question.
like someone said this earlier and you mentioned it as well. It comes down to your own thoughts and beliefs. And on Serial Killers, the podcast with Scotty B and Andrew from Elvis Duran in the morning show, they talk a lot about like, can anyone actually be canceled? Like, has anyone actually been fully canceled?
No.
Maybe for like a little bit. Even, is it Morgan
Whalen made way more money when he got canceled
right.
than before.
So like you may cancel them personally and that's fine. Like, for example, we had to go get something yesterday at the hardware store and I said, we're going to try Lowe's first. We're not going to give Home Depot our money because they support anti-LGBTQ organizations. And I will personally always go out of my way. Does that change anything for Home Depot? No. But I personally do not want to support them as a company if I don't have to.
That's fair.
And again, are they doing anything like absolutely egregious? I mean, yeah, in my mind, yes. Will I still buy from them if it's something I absolutely need for my home? Unfortunately, yes. I'll also try local places before going there. But if we all just shop based on our specific, mine or Anthony's, whatever it is, our thoughts, beliefs, virtues, whatever it may be, then we'll all be in a better place because you'll know personally what you're supporting. I'm not saying like sit here and be like, but I love R. Kelly. Everyone needs to listen to R. Kelly. No, just you can listen to Ignition.
That's not her opinion.
No, no, not at all. Will I listen to Ignition if it comes on? Yeah. Will I probably hate that I'm listening to it? Yes. Will I sing the lyrics? Probably yes.
Yeah, that's true. I guess Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby are both also companies that have, I think Cracker Barrel has come under fire too, right? I don't know the specifics, but I know Cracker Barrel has come under fire.
I don't even like Chick-fil-A. I don't.
Those waffle fries are good.
No, they taste like cardboard. I don't see the purpose.
And again, just because I say the waffle fries are good doesn't mean I believe what they believe or their CEO specifically. Because we've talked about this on air before. And there have been a lot of people who are like, listen,
local people.
There are still people who are employed by those companies. Just because the CEO decides to donate some money to a specific organization doesn't mean everyone in the company deals with it.
Zach T. Lane subscribed for 7 months total. They're on 11 months total, 7 month streak. What were you doing for those other few months? Or was there no streak? All good.
Oh, let's see. It's like Dutch Bros. A lot of native communities are boycotting Dutch Bros because of what's going on in Oregon with the tribal land and gambling laws that are bypassing for a racetrack.
Dutch Bros that's
coffee, right?
I think so.
It's like coffee and
I always
Danishes
think of them
or something.
As the paint. Who's the paint that is? Looks like their logo. Whatever. I don't need to go there. I won't go there. We don't even have any, but I won't go there.
Let's see.
T. Hughes. My sister is gay, but can't give up Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is one of the hardest ones that people struggle with.
But it's definitely overrated. When I see the line, I'm like literally go anywhere else for chicken fingers. Nuggets.
Fred the Mailman in the Twitch chat brings up Goya.
Oh.
Right? So people tried to boycott Goya. A ton of people went and specifically bought Goya products, which honestly, they've got that market cornered to begin with.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about
Thank you.
Goya for me specifically was, if you remember, the reason that Goya was in the middle of like the crosshairs, was this a year and a half ago at this point?
2 years.
Was the CEO of Goya, or one of the executives of Goya, went and spoke with Donald Trump at a press conference and talked about initiatives for Hispanic communities. Right.
Like, this was like during COVID though, right?
Yeah,
it was,
yes.
but did it have anything to do with the pandemic?
I don't think so. But the interesting thing was, if you remembered, if you go back and watch it, the last name of that guy was Unanue.
Yes.
The Unanue family grew up, like I grew up with one of the Unanues. He went to middle school with me and I was friends with him until high school. Not the guy that you saw on TV, but one of his, I think that was his uncle or maybe his dad.
Yeah.
And it was such a weird moment for me to be like, wow, I have like a personal connection with this guy's family. And in reality, what Goya was doing at the time was, whoever was president at the time, you've got to work with that president to uplift different communities. So Ice Cube got crap too for talking to Donald Trump around the election. It was like, well, the guy's still working for his community.
Yeah.
You got to at some point work with the person who's sitting in that office. But I remember like Goya specifically donated a lot of money to Seton Hall as well. The Unanaway family donated like $4 million or something to Seton Hall for a Hispanic community center.
Okay, that's
or
fair.
a Hispanic learning
But
center.
to Seton Hall,
And it's just interesting how people can turn on a company or whatever just because they work with quote unquote the enemy, if that's who you consider the enemy. The MyPillow guy, I think, is just creepy. I don't know if his pillows are any good, but the MyPillow guy just looks like a
we used
weirdo.
to get them.
No, we got bamboo pillows.
No, like one point at Elvis' show, they sent a bunch.
Oh, really?
Weren't that great.
Okay.
You have to be careful with pillows and stuff. Not saying my pillows are like this, but you have to be careful with pillows and mattresses because some of them are actually made with certain chemicals that can legitimately make you sick and make your hair fall out.
Didn't we know someone whose hair was
Yes.
falling out?
They thought that's what it was. I don't
Was it?
know that that's.
Oh, okay.
They want us to share that, but they think that's what was happening.
Man, we have covered so many things today. Dutch Boy
Yeah. So Dutch Boy is the paint.
and Dutch Brothers.
Bros.
Interesting.
And my dad, I remember when I got bangs the first time, he was like, "You look like Dutch Boy," and I cried.
What you did?
I
What?
was like 24
when you did what?
when I got my bangs like this.
Oh, well, did you look like Dutch Boy?
A little bit. Anthony, are you upset that Sacred Heart University is the real shoe?
Stop that. I'm not even gonna. Well, obviously, I'm ready for my Seton Hall game today.
I don't think it's happening.
We're playing Butler at 5.
They canceled it.
It's been tough. We took a tumble in the rankings on Monday. We went from 15 to 24. It was the furthest drop in the rankings, but we stayed ranked after 2 losses because we played with half our team basically, and we played 2 ranked teams and played until the end.
No one's here for this. Apparently, I said I got banged and not bangs.
Oh, well. And Diana0509 says that's not all he did, Anthony, regarding the
Goya guy?
Unanaway Goya executive. He defended Trump and said a bunch of crazy things. Listen,
I don't
again,
know that,
I'm not
but-
defending. I'm bringing up these things just as conversation. I am
debate.
not taking a side on
It's something to
anything.
go about your day and think about. At the end of the day, where you spend your money, your dollar is the biggest kind of thing that you can. I don't know the word I'm trying to say,
You
but
vote
like,
with your dollar.
You vote with your dollar, but that goes for any company.
Yeah.
Like to the small businesses. Maybe you don't like the way a small business who they support look, then don't go there. Your dollar is the most important thing to these businesses. Spend them however you want. Artists, companies like Home Depot or Chick-fil-A, whatever it may be. Maybe you don't like the way McDonald's does certain things. Don't go there.
And Mega Damien said, to be honest, it does kind of sound like you're taking sides in these conversations. I swear I'm not. It's if whether you want to listen to the baby ever again or not, whether you listen to Morgan Wallen, whether you listen to R. Kelly, whether you buy Goya, whether you buy a MyPillow and rest your head on it, do whatever you want. Do what makes you feel good. And it's not up for me to tell you how to act, how to listen, how to spend your money. And I'll be all right. That's about it.
I'm sure we have things.
Just don't go to Rutgers or support Rutgers University.
Excuse me.
That's about it.
There's nothing wrong with Rutgers.
That's really it.
I'm sure there's a lot.
There's a lot wrong with Rutgers.
There's definitely more wrong with Seton Hall, though, because it's a private university.
Probably it is a private Catholic school. And
So, yeah.
there are definitely some things Seton Hall has done that I do not
Like what?
condone.
Tell us.
Dean Mott was fired. Now, there's 2 ways to go about this conversation. One, he wrote an op-ed piece, and I forgot what publication that he wrote it for. But he wrote an op-ed piece kind of blasting the Catholic Church. And Dean Mott is also gay. Was married, had a husband, all that good stuff. They fired him. And they claim it wasn't necessarily because he wrote the op-ed piece or that he was gay. It was because he used his official title in the article.
Okay.
And when you blast the Catholic Pope or the Pope or the Catholic Church, and you're representing Seton Hall University, which is a Catholic school, it creates a little bit of
Seems a bit like a dictatorship.
Seems a little bit like it. That's what religions oftentimes end up as.
Yeah. Well,
So,
who were we watching? The comedian that I fell asleep?
what?
This Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, Gaffigan. Yeah.
Great special. I got to go back and watch a lot of it.
Jim Gaffigan is one of my favorite comedians of all time.
But he was talking about like all religions. And I remember he was explaining how like they're all weird.
Yeah.
And he's talking about like whatever you want, go like it's fine, but like keep in mind like all organized religions.
Well, his whole thing was, and which I also kind of subscribe to this belief, is the religion is very rarely the problem. It is the human beings who are in charge of
Practicing and not enforcing, but like living it.
No, it's the human beings who are in charge who are at the top of those religions who make it an issue.
Well, he talks about, what is it? God, everyone agrees. God says, we just want you to love everyone. Mm-hmm. And he was saying how, like, one religion, like, oh, we have to love everyone.
Leadership, thank you.
Leadership, that's the word.
That's what I was looking for.
It's just really good. And you go watch it and you're like, huh, yeah, that makes sense.
As an RU alum, I'm not happy with RU at the moment. What do they do?
Oh, no. The RU screw.
Is it just because you lose a lot of games and you're not a very good program? Could be.
Yeah, go watch the Jim Gaffigan special. It's great.
You have to watch Shane Gillis. I've never heard of that person, but I will watch it. Oh, yeah, Mark Few. That's
Who's
right.
that?
Mark Few is the Gonzaga coach who was caught drunk driving. And wasn't he suspended for like one game? But again, if you're a Gonzaga fan and he's getting you to national championships.
Have someone that can drive you. Sam Hunt, I guess, driving down the back roads, though. I mean,
I'm sure Uber drivers can go down the back roads.
What is this song?
Huh?
What is this song? It's about driving.
Body like a back road.
Yeah.
Body like a back, right? Isn't that the name of the song?
To my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, how'd that work out for you, buddy?
Yeah, we have been on for a while. We also started a little later today
Yeah.
because we were trying to make sure that this stream was going to work. It looks like, so far, fingers crossed, it has, and it will remain that way.
Well, we are probably changing our internet.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, 3 games he was suspended for.
Yeah, Antonio Brown is kind of what started this conversation.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Man, we went on a whole tirade. We've talked about so many different things today.
Bungee jumping.
Betty White. Antonio Brown. R. Kelly. Somehow.
It's a remix to Ignition.
Like the R. Kelly thing came up recently because there's a sample that Drake used on his most recent album.
Which, okay, that pisses me off.
Well, it was a sample of some sort of instrument that was produced for originally an R. Kelly song. They used that same exact sample. And now basically anytime you stream that specific Drake song, the trickle down effect, R. Kelly makes like half of a penny every time you play it. And one of the things that people were saying specifically with this one was, in most artist situations, there's so many people that work on a song that you're splitting that pie like a billion different ways. R. Kelly
Still, though,
oftentimes wrote, produced, and sang his own music. So like he gets a bigger piece of that pie. But again, it's pennies. If you stream that song 1,000,000 times, R. Kelly's probably making $1,000. Like it's not a lot of
legal
money.
fees.
It's not a lot of, yeah, he also.
But let's stop giving R. Kelly jobs.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see. I just saw it with Brody and Scary written down here
because
somewhere.
it's the someone said it's like a Brooklyn Boys podcast.
Because we're all over the place. Yeah. I was listening to the Brooklyn Boys podcast, and we're going to end with this. Obviously, if you want some podcasts to listen to, Serial Killers, phenomenal. Brooklyn Boys with Brody and Scary and Brody.
Almost on air.
Almost on air. And is Ricky back with hers?
Not yet, I don't think, but soon enough.
Those are the only podcasts we will allow you to listen to. I take that back. Listen to whatever you want. So, also, Angela had messaged me this podcast a while ago. I'm still in the middle of it. This Land is a really good, it listens like a true crime podcast.
Okay.
But it's about the Native American land in Oklahoma.
Ooh.
And it's the story about that and how it got broken up, where it stands now. This Land is a really, really good podcast. If you want to learn a little bit, it's not going to be like this energy, obviously, because it's dealing with something serious and educated, unlike us.
Oh, so you said you were going to end with, you were listening to Brooklyn Boys.
Oh, yeah. And it was really long. It was like an hour and 40 minutes.
I don't have time for that. Although,
man,
but what we just did today.
I do love those guys.
Oh, and My Day Friday, but we don't have a new one out. Although I have been seeing, it was either Mergen or Kelsey. I forget. It was Mergen, aka Megan, was binging My Day Friday and was laughing at the old episodes of where we are talking about like going on dates, not with each other. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. But Lisa did mention that she's listening to The Dropout all morning, and it's updating today with the Elizabeth Holmes verdict. So I every morning I ask my Google, what's my news update? And she started talking about today we find out the Elizabeth Holmes verdict, blah, whatever. But the company she worked for was Theranos.
Yes.
But I literally heard Thanos, and I was like, what? And I'm like, oh my God, literally that's where my head is. I'm like, Thanos is coming. We're all gone.
I mean,
Thanos was right. I stand by it.
Thanos.
I stand by it. I'll fight you on that one. Thanos was right.
All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will be back Thursday morning. The studio might look a little different. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Thank you for being patient with us this morning as we were a little late, and with yesterday's show as it was chopped up and crappy and all over the place because of our internet.
So excited for New Year 2022 next week.
On Monday.
But we'll see you on Thursday.
Peace out.